Jinkx. And we got Davey Wavey. He's looking. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Boca, the Qween After Show, where our super celebrity guest looks at some of the queens she's played with, slayed with, or even laid with, and spills a little tea. Oh, scandalous, Lady Red. Or throws a little shade, if he has to, or just tells us something that we don't know. Today's guest is the gorgeous and lovely Davey Wavey. Have you been having fun with us, Davey?
So fun.
Yes,
so fun.
You are a rad dad today.
Thank you.
The internet's like, who is that man and why is he wearing a shirt?
Yeah, the tits are covered.
Lady Red, do you love this chicken nugget? Are you gonna dip him in some sauce?
I'm going to cover him in sauce and run him all over my tongue.
Oh, well, I think that might be a video for Emerald TV.
Yeah, this just got demonetized.
And speaking of chicken nuggets who are full of sauce, it's of course Gerg is the word. Blink. You can follow him on Twitter at Gerg is the word, right? Now hop your little cute ass out of here. See you later, baby. All right. Now you know how to play this game, right?
I do.
We're gonna look. You're gonna spell.
All right.
Okay, let us begin. Look at her. Oh, look, Joey Mills.
Oh.
What a cutie.
He was one of the first models that we worked with when we launched Himrose TV, and he is so cute and delightful. Everyone on set kept saying, are you sure he's 18? Like, did you card him because he is like Twinkie McNugget?
Right, he's giving you the full Twinkie McNugget.
Yeah. She's like 21, 22, so it's fine, yeah.
And
Lovely.
what's something, because we only know him in those roles of being a twink porn star.
Yeah.
What do you know about him as a human person?
You know, whenever we film something where we show more of like the model's personality, people are always like shocked to be like, well, this person that I've objectified for so long is actually a human. And he's really a sweetheart. Like, he's just really a nice guy who like lives in the Midwest with his partner, and like, he's just like you or me, you know?
Now, you did some video where you put stuff up his butt.
Oh, I did.
On YouTube.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, including a pumpkin, a Halloween pumpkin. Yeah, he's just like you and me, except that he can put a pumpkin up his butt. Well, actually, I could probably do that. I don't know about you.
Lady Red, can you put a pumpkin up your butt?
As long as it's not the great pumpkin.
Now, the great pumpkin. Charlie Brown has never been the same. With someone like Joey Mills, are they used to being over-sexualized by everyone in every situation?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, that's his job is doing porn, and I think people don't always respect those boundaries. Like, if you see someone that you've been jerking off to, but like he you know, he's a real person, and even though we did put a lot of objects up his butt, and he was able to guess most of them.
Wow.
Yeah, a very sensitive hole, I think, if you will.
That's tea.
That's tea. Very sensitive hole.
Even after all these years, he's been 18 for years.
Yeah. Mine at this point is so calloused, can't feel anything.
You're like, it's a dog, a cat, a
I don't know what it is.
A Tonka truck. Okay, look at Blake Mitchell, another sexy one.
Yeah, and you know, he's had quite the career, because he's as of recording the most searched gay porn star in the world.
Really?
Did you know this? Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and he's been, I think, at the top of the chart for a couple years now. So he started at Helix, which is like a very twink studio, but I feel like he's like transitioning. That was still kind of twinky, but I feel like his current status is more stud. Like, I think he will be hot and sexy like his entire life. He will be turning heads. And what's great about Blake is that he actually has something to say. Like, he has a perspective. I don't always agree with it, but like he has a perspective on things, and is more than happy to share his opinion.
What's an opinion you guys disagree on?
There was a website that was recently launched, and it was called boyforsale.com.
Oh, right.
And he was really saying, like, look, and he made a great point that this is like, you know, telling people that it's okay to human traffic. And he spoke out against it, and I totally get that perspective. But for me, it's also like, okay, this is a fantasy. And in the same way that we know that like violence in video games doesn't make you more likely to go shoot a school, that like seeing a fictitious website, embodying this fantasy isn't going to make you go out and buy a boy. But it was a great conversation to have, and I love that he had something to say.
And were those two guys paired in your first Himrose video?
Yeah, they have really good chemistry.
And what was the concept of that first video?
There were a few, and one of them, Joey, who's very twinky, and Blake, of course, is more hunky. Joey tied Blake to a bridge in the forest and really like had his way with him. It was this combination of like the innocence of Joey, but with like the profaneness of like BDSM. It was a really sexy video. And then Joey sucked Blake's dick through a glory hole in the barn.
Oh.
And it was just this like glorious, like heavenly video. Yeah, having a moment.
Are you still editing your own videos now?
I don't edit those videos. Yeah, I do edit the YouTube content, and only because I feel like no one does it as good as I do.
Right.
Like I have years of experience of doing it.
I do the same here. I know exactly what I want and how to get it and how to put it together.
Yeah, but the porn stuff I don't, and there's like different soundtracks, and it's like she's not that technical.
Right. I got you.
She has her limits.
Okay, look at her. Another Hey Qween favorite,
Wesley.
Mr. Wesley Woods, someone with not only a good porn career, but a great sense of humor.
A great sense of humor. Yeah, he's fucking funny. Like Wesley is a whore. And I mean that in like the best way possible.
Yeah, he wears it as a badge of honor.
Yeah, and he can get it on with any of the model. Like he can get on with a guy that's 30 years older than him. A guy like he doesn't. If you're ready to have like ecstatic, sexually, whatever fun, like he's there for it. And I absolutely love the energy that he brings to set. It's so fun to work with him.
What's something that happened on set that might be interesting that we wouldn't have expected?
Well, earlier when we were chatting, I was telling you about a worshiping video where a model looked into the eyes of the other guy and told him how beautiful and deserving of love he was for a minute and a half. Wesley was the receiver of that. And he had just been through an accident where it wasn't an accident. It was.
Oh yeah, he was gay bashed.
He was gay bashed. And he was at kind of a point in his life where I think he was feeling especially vulnerable and fragile, and he received that affirmation and that love, and he was moved to tears. He did a great Instagram post about it when the video came out a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
And you can see that at himrose.tv.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I think I remember seeing your post about that. Chris Harder is in that too.
He is also very sexy.
Yeah. Okay, look at him. Your podcast co-host and sex expert, Finn Deerhart.
Finn Deerhart. Yeah, Finn is so lovely. He's so smart. I was telling you earlier, our podcast, like, I'm such trash and like the things that I talk, I'm just, I'm filthy. And Finn is very educated and articulate and understands like really the deep dives into why we do the things that we do. So it's really fun to hear his perspective on things. And he actually writes a lot of the concepts for Himrose TV.
Oh, right. So, yeah, what's the creative process behind all that?
Well, we work with a different sex coach for each project. It could be a tantric instructor, a sexologist, a sex and intimacy coach like Finn. And we brainstorm, what's the theme for this project? And like we're doing a project in a castle in France. And so it's through the looking glass. And it's all based on different fairy tales and archetypes of gay men. I mean, really, like, who can write that other than Finn? Like, it's like, you basically need, like, a master's in, like, queer whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
And how did you guys originally meet?
He emailed me when he saw what we were doing with Himrose, and he said, I think I have something to contribute. If not, I just love what you're doing. And so we set up a call. And a lot of the tantric instructors that we work with they live on kind of another planet. Like they're...
Planet Tantra.
Yeah. And she's not close to Earth.
No, she's far. She's past Mars.
And I love it, but like you really have to take that knowledge and try to make it accessible for those of us who do live on Earth. And Finn is very grounded in making stuff accessible for people. And that's a talent. That's a talent.
I do enjoy his presence on your podcast.
Yeah, he's great.
It's good. Do you get any sex tips from him? I mean, you're having a lot of sex and you're very public about all the different things that you're doing. Are you picking up tips for all these things that you're doing?
Totally. He wrote a video that we filmed in Sweden called The Scavenger Hunt. And it's like, so if someone wants your dick, you know, you're sitting there, you're like, okay, you need to do 3 things.
Oh, right.
And you can do this over text. The person doesn't have to be there, right? And so send that person out to do, you know, X, Y, and Z. Like have them, you know, I had the guy write slut across his ass with a magic marker.
I did hear you tell this story, but I'm sure our audience would enjoy it.
Yeah, so
this was some young college man you were talking to. Typical Davey Wavey style.
So I think the first was, I want a picture of you like with your underwear in your mouth. And he's like, my roommate's like right here. And I was like, I don't fucking care where your roommate is.
You're like Daddy Davey Wavey doesn't fucking care.
Yeah, my voice has never been that deep, ever. So he took his underwear off and took a picture, and his roommate was like right there in the background, totally on his phone, like oblivious to what's going on. The second thing was I had him send me the dirtiest video he had on his phone, and then the final, the grand finale was writing, I think it was slut or whore or something across, dirty slut? I don't know, something across his butt and take a picture of it, and he did it.
Wow.
And he got the D. He got the D.
He got what he wanted.
Yeah.
That's how you get with Davey Wavey, everyone. There are levels and there are scavenger hunts to be done.
We just destroyed my Instagram DMs.
Lady Red's like, scavenger hunt, you say? First you find the weed, then you find the Taco Bell, and then you bring it all to my room. I guess not, okay. Look at her! For part 2 of Look at Her, click here. For more incredible episodes of Look at Her, click down here. And don't forget to subscribe!